Hello boaters, welcome to Narrowboat Journeys. My name is Phil, and at the time of recording this, I've lived afloat aboard my narrowboat for nearly 34 years. I share my home with my two cats, Bushka and Midge, and we spend our days travelling around the Canal system and making videos. In this video, I'm on the Oxford Canal and starting just below Dashwoods Lock. I will be carrying on down through a very rural stretch of canal and mooring up just below Pigeons Lock. On the way I'll be going through Northbrook Lock, and of course at the end I'll be going through Pigeons Lock. There's not a lot to say in terms of commentary on this stretch of canal, it's just very beautiful isolated countryside. This is an early morning cruise on a fairly cold and misty autumn day. This is an old sunken working boat, and since I recorded this video, it's actually been refloated and moved away. And here we are approaching Northbrook Lock. It's not a very deep one, this one. Because there's a lot of trees around here, the lock gates can often get jammed up with floating logs and branches. so I've got room to get through. Well, that's that one done. That's nice and easy. I like smaller locks. And the River Cherwell, you can't see it, but it's just to the right of the towpath. It's very close to the canal here. In the summer, these reeds can grow right out across the canal, just leaving a tiny little channel through the middle. It's like going down the Amazon. I was walking along here once and I saw a group of hire boaters trying to moor up here on the right, and the water is so shallow and rocky, absolutely no chance. But just a little bit farther on, there's really good moorings with metal piling. It's quite a popular little stopping place. So I told them, and I think they moved on. Here on the right is that stopping place I mentioned. Good mooring here for quite a long stretch. It's a popular place for people to stop in the summer, but they don't tend to stay long because it's extremely isolated here. It's over a mile carrying on in this direction to the nearest road, and that's only a bridle way. You'll quite often see deer here as well. They're quite common, but they're quite hard to spot in the summer because of all the vegetation and the undergrowth. In the winter, you're more likely to see them. Just after the water pipe, we've got a winding hole here on the left. Also on the left, we're now approaching Kirtlington Quarry. This is a great little place to stop. I don't tend to stop here though, because years ago it was a quiet, peaceful place, but these days it's quite a lot of people use the quarry, and there'll be lots of dogs and kids running around. It's not safe for cats anymore, but it is a great place to stop. When I first moored up here years and years ago, it was very much more open, and you could go up in the quarry and you could find fossils and things like that, but it's been very well picked over now and you don't really find many fossils. It's an interesting place. Well, here's a few hints of civilization. We're approaching Pigeons Lock. There's a few houses down here, one of which used to be a pub many years ago. It's called the Three Pigeons. It's just a private house these days. It's pretty narrow along here, and I can see another boat approaching, so I'm just going to pull in and let them go past. So this is Pigeons Lock, and I like to moor below the lock usually. The problem is that there's really good moorings down there, but it's often full up. So whilst I was waiting for the lock to fill, I walked down and had a look just to make sure there was some space. We're still very isolated down here. To the left of the bridge, if you walk on up the lane, it's a good mile, is the village of Kirtlington. There's a pub and a post office with very limited opening hours. To the right of the bridge is the village of Tackley, but that's probably about 1.5 miles along the bridle way. They've got a little village shop and post office. Kirtlington, as I mentioned, doesn't really have a shop anymore as far as I'm aware. Unfortunately, all these villages are dying out. However, if you do walk up to Kirtlington, you could be able to catch a bus to like Bicester or possibly Oxford if you wanted. Also, if you go to Tackley, you can get the train to Banbury or Oxford. So there are options, but it's not easy around here. When I'm here, I usually cycle to the shops. Bicester is about 7 miles each way from here, and Kirtlington is about 6 miles each way. It's pretty exhausting. Well, as luck would have it, there's plenty of mooring space down here today. I'm coming in at the end. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.